Well, the third episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier definitely takes us in a brand new direction, has a few new revelations that will have a pretty big impact on the MCU, and an ending that seems to indicate towards a change of course in the pacing and character relations. So let's get to it. So in the third episode, we see that, as we hit the end, which brings us to the midway point, that we are starting to get the ball rolling on the second half of the season. We find out more about the power broker and everything that was happening with the super soldier serum. About 20 successful vials or so were created, and we see that they're being used in a variety of ways, if you will. We learned why exactly the super soldier serum is now this sort of a thing that everybody wants, because this new iteration is different. It's not going to get you jacked up, as they say, or anything like that. And this all brought us to Madripoor, which of course we know is related to the X-Men, which they don't go into any of that here. But what we do know is that this place is pretty much where you go if you want some shady business done and crime. We get to see Sharon. We learn that, she didn't get a pardon or anything. She's been living here, and she's hiding here, more or less, because, she's not going to get sent back to the U.S., so as long as she remains in Madripoor, she's pretty good, all things considered. At the same time, we finally get to see Zemo, and he's back in full-on Zemo form. We also get a revelation about his rich family history, and we see that he's got tons of vintage cars, he's still got connections, he's got a private jet and everything. Like, this dude is wealthy as hell. And inside one of the vintage cars is the Zemo mask, meaning that there is more to that than just him tossing it on for fun, which we're hoping that they'll connect it back to some of the comic book roots. Maybe not, we don't really know. We'll maybe find out in the next 3 episodes. And we do see that Bucky was the one that set in motion him getting out. So now Captain America and Lamar are believing that Bucky was responsible, and they're gonna go after them. And at the same time, at the end, we see that they're now in full-on, we need to go after the power broker. But Bucky realizes there's something off about this. So at the end of the episode, he decides, I'm gonna take off in this direction, go for a little walk. And we see him picking up a familiar-looking little, I guess, orbs, if you will, or metal balls. I think that's the best way to describe them, which lead him to the second in command of the Dara Milaje, which of course is the elite group of warriors in Wakanda. She's here because it's what they thought. She's after Zemo. So a lot happening in this episode. A lot happens specifically at the end to set up, where they're going, where the series is going to be taking us, and what is going on in the MCU. You definitely get the sense that this is the most John Wick episode to date, and it looks like it's just going to keep going. There is some brutal action, hand-to-hand combat, gun combat. It's all here. If you're a fan of the Captain America movies, this episode delivers on all fronts.